You don't understand these things. It is simply cause it cares. Perhaps you suppose this wrong, can't keep it up all day long. If that's your idea, you're wrong. If that's your idea, you're wrong. If you want to know who we are gentlemen of Japan. On fast and jump, on screen and fan, on many a jump.
Gentlemen, I pray you tell me where a gentle maiden dwelleth named Yum Yum. The word of Coco, in pity speak, oh speak, I pray you.
Why, who are you who asked this question?
Come, gather round me, and I'll tell you. A wandering minstrel, I, a king of swords and patches, of ballad songs and snatches, and dreamy lullaby. My catalog is long through every passion ranging, and to your humors changing, I tune my sorrowful song. I tune my sorrowful song. Are you in sentimental mood? Once I'm with you. On maiden's coldness do you brood, on do's for food. Sorrow, sorrow. I'll charm your feeling is with songs of lovers dear, with sympathetic kiss my cheeks feed you. Oh, sorrow, sorrow. But if patriotic sentiment is wanted, patriotic ballads hot and dry, for wherever your country's banners may be planted, all other countries' banners are defied. Our warriors in serried ranks assemble, never quail they conceal it if they do. But I shouldn't be surprised if nations tremble before the mighty troops of TT.
We shouldn't be surprised if nations tremble, tremble with alarm before the mighty troops, the troops of TT.
And if you call for the song of the sea, we'll hear the capstan run. With the yo-hee-ho and the wind is free, our anchor's a trip and a hound's a lead, homeward bound.
Yo-ho-hee-ho, hurrah for the homeward bound.
To lay aloft happiest hour a sailor sees is when he's down at his inland town, with his Nancy on his knee. Your his arm about her waist.
Then at the capstan off we go, as the fiddler swings us round. With your ho, around we love, hurrah for the homeward bound. With your ho, and around below. Your ho, ho, yo ho.
Of ballad songs and snatches and dreamy lullaby and dreamy
And what may be your business with Yum Yum?
I'll tell you. A year ago, I was a member of the Titipu Town Band. It was my duty to take the cat down for contributions. While discharging this delicate office, I saw Yum Yum. But she was betrothed to her guardian, Coco, a chief tailor, and I saw that my suit was hopeless. Judge of my delight when a month ago I heard that Coco had been condemned to death for flirting. I hurried back at once in the hope of finding Yum Yum at liberty to listen to my protestations.
It is true that Coco was condemned to death for flirting, but he was retrieved at the last moment, raised to the exalted rank of Lord High Executioner in the following remarkable circumstances. Great Mikado, virtuous man, when he to rule our land began, resolved to try a plan whereby young men might best be steadied. So he decreed in words succinct, no who flirted lead or winked, unless connubially linked, should forthwith be beheaded, should forthwith be beheaded. And I think you'll all agree that he was right to so decree. And I am right, and you are right, and all is right as right can be.
And you are right, and we are right, and all is right as right can be. And all is right as right can be. Right as right can be.
Decree you understand, caused great dismay throughout the land, for young and old and shy and bold were equally affected. The youth who breathed with strong, the non-connubial side was thereupon condemned to die. He usually objected, he usually objected. You will think that he was right to so object, and I am right, and you are right, and everything is quite correct.
And you are right, and we are right, and everything is quite correct, and everything is quite correct. All is quite correct.
So we straight let out on bail a convict from the county jail. His head was next on some pretext, condemned to be blown off, and made him headsman, for we said was next to be condemned to death. Should another head until he's cut his own off, his own off, his own off, until he's cut his own off. We are right, we think you say to argue in this kind of way? And I'm right, and you are right, and all is right to rule and make.
And you are right, and we are right, and all is right to rule and make. And you are right, and we are right, and all is right.
Coco, the chief tailor, Lord High Executioner of Titipu. Well, that's the highest rank a citizen can attain.
It is. Our logical Mikado, seeing no moral difference between the dignified judge who condemns a criminal to die and the industrious mechanic who carries out the sentence, has rolled the two offices into one, and every judge is now his own executioner.
But how good of you, for I see that you are a nobleman of highest rank. To condescend to tell all this to me, a mere scrolling image.
Don't mention it. I am, in point of fact, a particularly haughty and exclusive person of pre-Adamite ancestral descent. You will understand this when I tell you that I can trace my ancestry to a primordial protoplasmal atomic globe. Consequently, my family pride is something inconceivable. I can't help it. I was born sneering. I struggle constantly to overcome this defect. I mortify my pride continually. When all the high officers of state resigned in a body because they were too proud to serve under an ex-tailor, did I not unhesitatingly accept all their posts at once?
And the salaries attached to them? You did.
It is consequently my degrading duty to serve this upstart as First Lord of the Treasury, Prime Minister, Lord High Admiral, Commander-in-Chief, Master of the Buckhounds, Groom of the Backstairs, Archbishop of Titipu, and Lord Mayor, both acting and elect, all rolled into one, and at a salary. A poobah paid for his services. I, a salaried man. I do it. It revolts me, but I do it.
And it does you credit.
Oh, but I don't stop at that. I go and dine with middle-class people, well, on reasonable terms. I dance at cheap suburban parties for a moderate fee. I accept refreshment from any hands, however lowly. I also retail state secrets at a very low figure. For instance, any further information about Yum Yum would come under the head of a state secret. Another insult, and I think a light one. Young men despair likewise to do. Yum Yum the fair you must not woo. It will not do. I'm sorry for you. You very perfect blucher. This very day in school Yum Yum will win away and home would come with beat drum and drum for a counter with the Lord High Executioner. And the brass will clash and the trumpets bray and they'll cut a dash on their wedding day. She'll toddle away as all upon with the Lord High Executioner.
And the
recall their pact extremely soon. In point of fact, the star alone, on honeymoon, with that buffoon, and said commenced his solution. And the transfer clash, and the trumpets ring, and their cartilage on the wedding day, she'll toddle away as all apart with the Lord High Executioner.
And the blossom flash, and the trumpet ring, and the cartilage on the wedding day,
She'll toddle away as all apart with the Lord High Executioner.
And have I journeyed for a month or nearly to learn that yum, whom I love so dearly, this day to call is to be united.
The fact appears to be as you've recited. But here he comes, equipped, assumes his station. He'll give you any further information.
Behold the Lord High Executioner, a personage of noble rank and title, a dignified and potent officer, whose functions are particularly vital. Defer to the Lord High Executioner. Defer to the noble Lord, to the noble Lord, to the Lord High Executioner.
Taken from a county jail by a set of curious chances, liberated then on bail, on my own recognizances, wafted by favouring gale, as one taps place in trances, to a height that few can scale, save by long and weary dances, surely never had a male, under such circumstances, so adventurous a tale, which may rank with most romances, taken from a county jail, by a set of curious chances, never had no adventurous a tale.
Defer to the Lord High Executioner. Defer to the noble Lord, to the noble Lord High Executioner. Bow down, bow down to the Lord High Executioner. Defer to the noble, noble Lord High Executioner.
Gentlemen, I am much touched by this reception, and I can only hope that by strict attention to duty, I can ensure a continuance of those favours which it has ever been my study to deserve. If I should ever be called upon to act professionally, I'm happy to think there should be no difficulty in obtaining plenty of people whose loss will be a distinct gain to society at large. As someday it may happen that a victim must be found, I've got a little list of society offenders who might well be underground, who never would be missed. There's the pestilential nuisances who write for autographs, or people who eat pepper and irritating laughs, or children who are up and dancing flooring with them flat, and persons who in chaining shake hands with you like that, and all the persons who on spoiling tete-a-tetes insist that none of them be missed.
He's got them on the list, and none of them be missed, none of them be missed.
There's the banjo serenader and the others of his race, the piano organist, I've got him on the list. And the people who eat peppermint and puff it in your face, they never would be missed. And the idiot who praises with enthusiastic tones for centuries, but this and every country from its own. And the lady from the provinces who dresses like a guy, who doesn't think she waltzes but would rather like to try. And that singular anomaly, the lady novelist, I don't think she'll be missed. I'm sure she'll not be missed.
He's got her on the list, and I don't think she'll be missed. I'm sure she'll not be missed.
And that nice lycruist nuisance who just now is rather rife, the judicial humorist, I've got him on the list. All funny fellows, comic men and clowns of private life, they never would be missed. An apologetic statesman of a compromising kind. What do you call him? Thingy Bob, and likewise, never mind, and what's his name? And also, you know who. The task of filling up the blanks I'd rather leave you, but it doesn't really matter whom you put upon the list. That none of them be missed.
You may put them on the list, and none of them be missed, none of them be missed.
Poobah! It seems the festivities for my approaching marriage must last a week. I should like to do it handsomely, and I want to consult you as the amount I ought to spend upon them.
Certainly. In which of my capacities? First Lord of the Treasury, Chancellor of the Exchequer, Prime Minister, Privy Purse, or Private Secretary?
Oh, suppose we say as Private Secretary.
Speaking as your Private Secretary, I should say, as the city will have to pay for it, don't stitch yourself. Do it well.
Exactly! As the city will have to pay for it. That is your advice.
Yes, Private Secretary. Of course, as Chancellor of the Exchequer, I'm bound to see that due economy is observed.
Oh, but you said just now, don't stint yourself. Do it well.
As Private Secretary.
And now you say that due economy must be observed?
As Chancellor of the Exchequer.
I see. Come over here where the Chancellor can't hear us. Now, as my solicitor, how do you advise me to deal with this difficulty?
Oh, speaking as your solicitor, I shall have no hesitation in saying, charge it.
Thank you. I will.
If it were not that as Lord Chief Justice, I would be bound to see that the law is not violated.
I see. Come over here where the First Lord of the Treasury can't hear us.
Yes?
Now, as First Lord of the Treasury.
As First Lord of the Treasury, I could propose a special vote that would cover all expenses. If it were not that as Leader of the Opposition, it would be my duty to resist it to the nail. Then, as Paymaster General, I could so cook the accounts that, as Lord High Auditor, I should never discover the fraud. But then, as Archbishop of Titipu, it would be my duty to denounce my dishonesty and hand myself over into my own custody as First Commissioner of Police.
That's extremely awkward.
Mind you, I'm not saying all these distinguished people couldn't be square.
The matter
Well, it's only right to tell you that they would not feel sufficiently degraded in their own estimation unless they were insulted with a very considerable bribe.
The matter shall have my careful consideration. But wait, my bride and her sisters approach, and any small compliment on your part, such as an abject grovel in a characteristic Japanese attitude, would be esteemed a favor.
No money, no grovel. I have known it done.
I have the misfortune to love your ward, Yum Yum. Oh, I know I deserve your anger.
Anger? Not a bit, my boy. Why, I love her myself. Charming little girl, isn't she? Pretty eyes, nice hair, taking little thing all together. Very glad to have my opinion backed by a competent authority. Very good. Take him away. Oh, thank you.
I beg your pardon, but what's this? Customer come to try on.
That is tremendous sweat.
Go away, little girls, go away. Can't talk to little girls like you. Go away, there's...
Hoover, allow me to present you. These are my 3 wards. The one in the middle is my bride-elect.
Well, what do you want me to do with them? Mind you, I will not kiss them.
Oh, no, you shan't kiss him. A little bow, a mere nothing.
It goes against the grain. They are not young ladies, they are young persons.
Come, make an effort. There's a good nobleman.
Well, I shan't mean it. How do you do, little girls? Oh, my protoplasmal ancestor.
That's very good.
I see nothing to laugh. It is no light matter for me to have to say to young persons. I'm not in the habit of saying to anyone under the rank of a stockbroker.
Don't mind him, he can't help it, he's under treatment for it. Never mind them, they don't understand the delicacy of your position.
We understand how delicate it is, don't we?
We certainly do. How a nobleman of your importance can do it at all is a thing I never shall, never will understand.
So please so much regret if we have failed in etiquette. Towards the ranks of Irish and no better by and by. But you of course must have instinct, so pardon us, so pardon us. Don't you go once happy spring, be pardon us, if we're inclined to dance and sing tra-la-la. But you of course must have instinct, so pardon us, and learn to regard what's happening to be pardon us.
I think you ought to regulate. You cannot show too much respect towards the high type of you, but nobody else, so I should go. The youth that I should have it me is hard on us, to our prerogative we cling, so pardon us, if we decline to dance and sing.
Yum Yum, at last we are alone. Switching out today for 3 weeks in the belief that your guardian was beheaded, only to find that you to be married to this afternoon.
Alas, yes.
But you don't love me.
Alas, no.
Modified rapture. But why don't you refuse me?
Oh, what good would that do? He's my guardian, and he wouldn't let me marry you.
Well, I would wait until you are of age.
Oh, you forget that in Japan girls do not arrive at the age of discretion until they are 50.
True. From 17 to 49 are considered years of indiscretion.
And besides, a wandering minstrel who plays a wind instrument outside tea houses is a hardly befitting husband for the ward of the Lord High Executioner.
Ah, but shall I tell her? Yes, she won't betray me.
What if it were to prove that after all, I am no musician?
Oh, there, I knew it directly. I heard you play.
What if it were to prove that I am no other than the son of His Majesty the Mikado?
The son of the Mikado? But why is your Highness disguised? And what has your Highness done? And will your Highness promise never to do it again?
Some years ago, I had the misfortune to captivate Katisha, an elderly lady of my father's court. She misconstrued my customary affability into expressions of affection and claimed me in marriage under my father's law. My father, the Lucius Junius Brutus of his race, ordered me to marry her within a week or die ignominiously on the scaffold. That night I fled the court, and assuming the disguise of a second trombone, I joined the band in which you found me when I had the happiness of meeting you.
I think your Highness had better not come too close. The laws against flirting are excessively severe.
But we are quite alone, and nobody can see us.
Still, that doesn't make it right. To flirt is capital.
It is capital.
And we must obey the law.
Jews take the law.
I wish it would, but it won't.
If it were not for that, how happy we might be.
Happy indeed.
If it were not for the law, we should now be sitting side by side like that.
Instead of being obliged to sit half a mile apart, like that.
Gazing into each other's eyes, like that.
Breathing sighs of unutterable love, like that.
With our arms around each other's waists, like that.
But as it is, of course, we couldn't do anything of the kind.
Not for worlds.
Being engaged to Coco, you know.
Being engaged to Coco. Were you not to Coco plighted, I would say in tender tone, loved one, let us be united, let us be each other's own. I would merge your rank and station, world peace is and what was, and to mark my admiration, I will kiss you fondly thus. I will kiss you fondly thus.
But as I'm engaged to Coco to embrace you thus con Coco, would this take me for trouble? And for yet I should get Toco,
Toco, so in spite of all temptation, such a thing I not discussed, and on no consideration will I kiss you fondly thus. Will I kiss you fondly thus? Let me make it clear to you, this is what I never do. This, oh this, oh this, oh this, this is what I never do. This, oh this, oh this, oh this, this is what I never do. I never do. Oh this, this is what I never do.
How entirely my future happiness is wrapped up in that little parcel. Really, it hardly seems worthwhile. Ah, matrimony. Oh, now then, what is it? Can't you see I'm soliloquizing? You have interrupted an apostrophe, sir.
I am the bearer of a letter from His Majesty the Mikado.
A letter from the Mikado? What in the world can he have to say to me? Here it is at last. I thought it would come sooner or later. The Mikado is struck by the fact that no executions have taken place in Titipu for a year and decrees that, unless someone is beheaded within a month, the post of Lord High Executioner shall be abolished, and the city reduced to the rank of a village.
But this will involve solving every trivial ruin.
Yes, there's no help for it. I shall have to execute somebody at once. The only question is, who shall it be?
It may seem unkind to say so, but as you are already under sentence of death for flirting, everything seems to point to you.
To me? What are you talking about? I can't execute myself.
Why not?
Why not? Because in the first place, self-decapitation is an extremely difficult, not to say dangerous thing to attempt. And in the second, it's suicide. And suicide is a capital offence.
That is so, no doubt.
We might reserve that point.
We could argue it 6 months hence before the full court.
Besides, I don't see how a man can cut off his own head.
A man might try.
Even if you only succeeded in cutting it half off. That would be something.
It would be taken as an earnest of your desire to comply with the imperial will.
No, there I am adamant. As official headsman, my reputation is at stake, and I can't consent to embark on an act where I can't see my way clear to a successful result.
This professional conscientiousness is highly commendable in you, but it places us in an extremely awkward position.
My good sir, the awkwardness of your position is grace in itself, compared with that of a man engaged in the act of cutting off his own head.
I'm afraid unless you can obtain a substitute.
A substitute? Certainly! Nothing easier. Pooh-Bah, I appoint you Lord High Substitute.
I should be delighted. Such an appointment would realize my fondest dreams. But no. At all costs, I must set bounds to my insatiable ambition. I am so proud if I annul my family cries to be my guide. I volunteer to quit this sphere instead of you in a minute or two. But family pride must be denied and set aside and mortified and mortified.
My brain it teems with endless schemes for good and new, for titty-poo. But if I split the benefit that I refuse, the town would lose. Now every man to aid his clan should plot and plan as best he can.
I heard one day a gentleman say that criminals who are cut in two can scarcely feel the fatal sting, and so are slain without much pain. If this is true, it's jolly for you, your courage screw to innocent you.
I am so proud.
My brain it teems with endless schemes for good and new, for titty-poo. But if I get the benefit that I refuse, the town would lose. Now every man to aid his clan should plot and plan as best he can. And so, although I'm ready to go, yet recollect were disrespected, I neglect to thus effect this aim indirect. So I object.
And so, although I wish to go, and greatly pine to brightly shine, and take the line, the hero fine, with grief condign, I must decline.
And go and show her friend and foe how much you dare. I'm quite aware it's your affair, yet I declare I take your share, but I don't much care. So I object. So I object. So I object. So I object. So I object.
Citizens, silence in the dark, live your pestilential prison with a life, awaking the sensation of a short, blow a chippy, jump around a big back top. To sentence on silence in the dark, in the pestilential prison with a life,
awaiting the sensation of the shop, 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 of the chimney, chimney chopper on a big black block. A dog, 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 a lifelong lock, a shop, 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 a big black block. To sit in solemn silence in the resurrection vision of awaiting the sensation of the chimney, chopper on a big black block.
Be respited at the last moment, simply in order to benefit my native town, and now required to die within a month, and that by a man whom I'm loaded with honours. Is this public gratitude? Is this... Go away, sir. How dare you? Am I never to be permitted to soliloquize?
Oh, go on, don't mind me.
What are you going to do with that rope?
I'm about to terminate an unendurable existence.
Terminate your existence? Nonsense. What for?
Because you are going to marry the girl I adore.
Nonsense, sir. I won't permit it. I'm a humane man, and if you don't desist at once, I shall order your instant arrest. Come, sir. Desist at once, or I sign my God.
Don't be absurd. If you attempt to raise alarm, I shall instantly perform the happiest acts with this dagger.
No, no. Don't do that. This is horrible. Why, you cold-blooded scoundrel, are you aware that in attempting to take your life, you're committing a crime which is, substitute.
What's the matter?
Is it absolutely certain you're resolved to die?
Absolutely.
Will nothing shake your resolution?
Nothing.
Threats, entreaties, prayers, all useless?
Oh, my mind is made up.
Then if you really mean what you say, and you're absolutely resolved to die, and nothing will shake your determination, don't spoil yourself by committing suicide, but be beheaded handsomely at the hands of the public executioner.
I don't see how that's going to benefit me.
You don't observe. You'll have a month to live, and you'll live like a fighting cock at my expense. When the day comes, there'll be a grand public ceremonial. You'll be the central figure, of course. No one will attempt to deprive you of that distinction. There'll be a procession. Bands, the dead march, bells tolling, all the girls in tears, young, distracted. And then, when it's over, general rejoicings and a display of fireworks in the evening. You won't see them, of course, but they'll be there all the same.
Do you really think Yum Yum will be distracted at my death?
Oh, I'm convinced of it, bless you. She's the most tender-hearted little creature alive.
I wouldn't want to cause her pain. Perhaps, after all, if I was to withdraw from Japan and travel around Europe for a couple of years, I might contrive to forget her.
Oh, I don't think you could forget Yum Yum so easily. After all, what is more miserable than a love-blighted life?
True.
Life without Yum Yum? Why, it seems absurd.
And yet there are a great many people in this world that have to endure.
Poor devils, yes. You're quite right not to be one of their number.
I want to be one of their number.
Noble fellow.
I'll tell you how we manage it. You let me marry Yum Yum tomorrow, and in a month you may behead me.
No, I draw the line at Yum Yum.
Very well, if you can draw the line.
Stop,
So can I.
Be reasonable. How can I consent to you marrying Yum Yum when I'm going to marry her myself?
After all, poor fellow, in a month, she shall be a widow, and you can marry her then.
That's true, I quite see that. But my position during the next month will be most unpleasant, most unpleasant.
Not half as unpleasant as my position at the end of it.
Oh, well, Ivory, after all, it is only putting off my wedding for a month. But you won't prejudice her against me, will you? I've educated her to be my wife. She's been taught to regard me as a good and wise man, and I shouldn't want her views on that point to stay.
Trust me, she won't learn the truth from me.
ask you what you mean to do, we punctually appear.
Congratulate me, gentlemen, I found a volunteer.
The Japanese equivalent of here.
Just Nanky Boo. I think you do.
Yes, you do.
He yields his life, your young surrender. Though I adore that girl with passion tender, and could not yield her with a ready will, for her a lot, if I did not adore myself with passion tenderer still, with passion tenderer still.
Oh, yes, he was himself, with passion tenderer still.
Take her. You silly. Take her. She's yours.
The threatened cloud has passed away. Although the night may pass too soon,
Liberty's for honeymoon.
and there's no joy at once, with nothing strong as merry dance.
And let the throng of joy advance with laughing song and merry dance, with laughing song and merry dance, with laughing song.
With joyous shout and ringing chin, inaugurate the victory. With joyous shout and ringing chin, inaugurate the victory. With joyous shout and ringing chin, inaugurate the victory.
A day, a week, a month, a year.
But even time comes much too soon.
It's the honeymoon.
And there's a throng of joy at once, with laughing song and merry dance.
And let the throng of joy advance with laughing song and merry dance, with laughing song and merry dance, with laughing song.
With joyous shout and ringing chin, inaugurate the victory. With joyous shout and ringing chin, inaugurate the victory. With joyous shout and ringing chin, inaugurate the victory. With laughing song and merry dance.
As in a month you've got to die, if Coco tells us true, 'twere empty compliments to cry long life to Nanky Boo. But as a month you have to live as fellow citizen, this toast with 3 times 3 will give long, long.
thank you.
I haven't finished. Long life to you, long life to you, long life to you, till then.
Day of growth, prosper you. May you have health, and riches too. May you prosper you. May you have health and riches too. May you succeed in all your
Ah, 'tis Katisha, the maid of whom I told you.
No, you shall not go. These arms shall thus enfold you. Oh, that bliss my hallowed joys of light that sees your equipoise. Oh, rash that judges from off the whole. Oh, peace that grudges love's lightest load. Thy heart on mine, O fool of line. Give me thy grace, O rash, O base. Thy heart and mind, give me thy place, O fool of life, O rash, O base. Thy heart and mind, give me my place.
It shades thy bright store and lace, O fool, O light, O rash, O base.
Pink cheek that rollest while wisdom serves, bright eye that fullest heroic nerves, rose lip that scornest low-laden years, smooth tongue that warnest who rightly hears. Thy dawn is nigh, pink cheek, bright eye. Thy nail is rung, rose lip, smooth tongue. Thy doom is nigh, thy nail is rung, pink cheek, bright eye, rose lip, smooth tongue. Thy doom is nigh, thy nail is rung.
It's your tale, thy nail is rung, pink cheek, bright eye, rose lip, smooth tongue.
Thy
Thy nail is rung, pink cheek, bright eye, thy nail is rung, thy nail is rung.
Away, no prosecute your quest from our intentions well expressed. You cannot turn us. The state of your connubial views towards the person you accuse does not concern us. For he's going to marry you. You're like a place very full of his baby. I think we have reticent come, and join in expressions of glee. Warmless appetite may have been down. You'll find there are many who went for a penny, the one who life is gone. No, there's lots of fish in the sea.
On this subject we pray you be done. We think you had better say come. You'll find there are many who went for a penny, There are lots of good fish in the sea, there are lots of good fish in the sea. There's lots of good fish in the sea. There's lots of good fish in the sea, the sea.
shall rule. In vain for mercy, on your knees you sue. I'll tear the mask from your disguising.
Now comes the blow.
Prepare yourselves for new surprising.
How foil my foe?
No minstrel here despite Mikado. I know he is the son of your Then you interrupt with this tornado. He is the only son of your Your king and Mikado. He is the son of your Ye torrents roll, ye tempests come, your rock pour with angry crow. Do ye your worst with vengeance come, to rise triumphant over all.
We'll hear a war hero and now to joy restore despite your scout. The echoes of our praise in us shall rise triumphant over all.
Prepare for woe, ye haughty lords, at once I go. Mikado was
Away you go, collect your horse, proclaim your war. It is no cause.
it is for sound.
For torments everywhere.
We do not live, it is for sound.
For torments everywhere. We never go.
Sound.
Now, some bridegrooms would be depressed at this sort of thing. Wow. A month? What's a month? These divisions in time are purely arbitrary. Who says 24 hours make a day? Then we'll efface it. We'll call each second a minute, each minute an hour, each hour a day, and each day a year. At that rate, we have about 30 years of married happiness before us.
Oh, how time flies when one is thoroughly enjoying oneself.
At that rate, this interview has already lasted 4 hours and 3/4.
That's the way to look at it. No need to be downhearted. There's a silver lining to every cloud.
Yes, let's be perfectly happy.
Yes, yes, by all means. Let's thoroughly enjoy ourselves.
It's absurd to cry.
Quite ridiculous. I'm afraid we're distressing you.
Never mind. I must get used to it. Only please, do it by degrees. Begin by putting your arm around her waist. There! Let me get used to that.
Oh, wouldn't you like to retire? It must pain you to see us so affectionate together.
No, I must learn to bear it. Now, oblige me by allowing her head to rest on your shoulder.
Like that?
I'm much obliged to you. Thank now. Kiss me. This is simple torture.
Oh, come, bear up. After all, it's only for a month.
No, it's no use deluding oneself with false hopes.
What do you mean?
My child, my poor child. How can I break it to her? My little bride that was to have been.
Was to have been?
Yes, you can never be mine.
Oh, I'm so glad.
I've just ascertained that by the Mikado's law, when a married man is beheaded, his wife is buried alive.
Buried alive?
Buried alive. It's a most unpleasant death.
Whom did you get that from?
Oh, from Pooh-Bah. He's my solicitor.
Oh, but he may be mistaken.
So I thought. So I consulted the Attorney General, the Lord Chief Justice, Master of the Rolls, the Judge Ordinary, and the Lord Chancellor. They're all of the same opinion.
Never knew such unanimity on a point of law in my life.
But wait, this law has never been put into force.
Not yet. You see, flirting is the only crime punishable with decapitation, and married men never flirt.
Of course they don't. I quite forgot. Well, I suppose I may take it that my dreams of happiness are at an end.
Darling, I don't want to appear selfish, and I love you with all my heart. I don't suppose I shall love anybody quite as much again. But when I agreed to marry you, my own, I had no idea, Pet, that in a month I would have to be buried alive.
Why? It's the very first I heard of it.
It does make a difference, doesn't it?
It does make a difference, of course.
You see, burial alive is such a sort of stuffy death.
I call it a beast of a death.
You do see my difficulty, don't you?
Yes, and I see my own. If I insist on you carrying out your promise, I doom you to a hideous death. If I release you, you may Coco at once.
Here's how we do, if I marry you. When your time has come to perish, then your maiden whom you cherish must be slaughtered too. Here's how we do, here's how we do.
Here's a pretty lass, in among our lass. I must die without a wedding, let the bitter tears and shedding witness my distress. Here's a pretty mess, here's a pretty mess.
His state of things, to her life she clings. Matrimonial devotion doesn't seem to suit her notion. Burial it brings. Here's the state of things, here's the state of things.
With the passion that it takes, I watch it and I talk. For the laws of common sense we ought to ignore. If what you say is true, 'tis death to marry you. Here's a pretty state of things, here's a pretty howdy-do. Here's a pretty state of things, a pretty state of things.
Here's a howdy-do.
Here's a howdy-do.
Here's how we do.
For if what he says is true, I cannot marry you. Here's a pretty state of things.
Here's a pretty howdy-do.
My poor boy, I'm really very sorry for you.
Thanks, old fellow. I'm sure you are.
You see, I'm quite helpless.
Quite, I can see that.
I can't conceive of anything more distressing than to have one's marriage broken off at the last moment. But still, you shan't be disappointed of the wedding. You shall come to mine.
That's very kind of you, but it's impossible.
Why so?
Today I die.
What do you mean?
I can't live without Chamillon. This afternoon I perform the happy dispatch.
No, pardon me, I can't allow that.
Why not?
Why, hang it all, you're under sentence to die by the hands of the public executioner in a month's time. If you kill yourself, what's to become of me? Why, I shall have to be executed in your place.
It would certainly seem so.
Now then, Lord Mayor, what is it?
The Mikado and his suite are approaching the city and will be here in 10 minutes.
The Mikado is no doubt coming to see whether his orders have been carried out. out. Now, look here, you know, this is getting serious. A bargain's a bargain, and you really mustn't frustrate the ends of justice by committing suicide. As a gentleman and a man of honour, you're bound to die ignominiously by the hands of the public executioner.
Very well, then. Behead me.
What now?
Yes, of course.
Chop it off, chop it off.
My good sir, I don't go about prepared to execute gentlemen at a moment's notice. Why, I never even killed a blue bottle.
But still, as Lord High Executioner.
As Lord High Executioner, I've got to behead him in a month. I'm not ready yet. I don't know how it's done. I'm going to take lessons. I mean to begin with a guinea pig and work my way through the animal kingdom till I come to a second trombone. Why, you don't suppose as a humane man I'd have accepted the post of Lord High Executioner had I not thought the duties were purely nominal. I can't kill you. I can't kill anything. I can't kill anybody.
Oh, come, poor fellow. We all have unpleasant duties to discharge at times. After all, what is it? If I don't mind, why should you? Remember, sooner or later it must be done.
Must it? I'm not so sure about that.
What do you mean?
Why should I kill you when making an affidavit that you've been executed would do just as well? Here are plenty of witnesses. The Lord Chief Justice, Lord High Admiral, Commander-in-Chief, Secretary of State for the Home Department, First Lord of the Treasury, and Chief Commissioner of Police.
But where are they?
There they are. They'll all swear to it, won't you?
Am I to understand that all us high officers of state are required to perjure ourselves to ensure your safety?
Why not? You'll be grossly insulted as usual.
Will the insult be cashed down or at a date?
It will be a ready money transaction.
Well, it will be a useful discipline. Very well, choose your fiction and I'll endorse it. Ha ha, family pride. How do you like that, me back?
But life without yum.
Oh, yum, 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 bother yum, yum. Here, Commissioner, go and fetch yum, yum. Take yum, yum and marry yum, yum, only go away and never come back again. Here she is. Yum, yum, are you particularly busy?
Not particularly. Few 5 minutes to spare, yes?
Then go along with His Grace the Archbishop of Titipu and he'll marry you at once.
But if I'm to be very denied...
Now, don't ask any questions, but do as I tell you. Nankipu will explain all.
But one moment.
Not for worlds. Here comes the Mikado, no doubt to ascertain whether I've obeyed his decree. And if he finds you alive, I shall have the greatest difficulty persuading him I've just beheaded you. Close thing that, for here he comes.
From every own my sweat.
It said his daughter-in-law elect, as tough as a bull with a will of her own, is his daughter-in-law elect.
My nature is love and light, my freedom from all defect.
It's insignificant quite compared with his daughter-in-law elect. Bow, bow to his daughter-in-law elect.
Bow, bow to his daughter-in-law elect. A boy named Mikado never did in Japan exist. Nobody second, I'm certainly reckoned a true philanthropist. It is my very humane endeavor to make to some extent each evil liver a running river of harmless merriment. My object sublime I shall achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make each prisoner pent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment. All prosy, dull society sinners who chatter and fleet and bore are sent to hear sermons from mystical Joes who preach from 10 till 4. The amateur tenor whose vocal villainies all desire to shirk shall during off hours exhibit his powers to Madame Tussauds waxwork. The lady who dyes her chemical yellow or stains her grey hair blue, her skin shall be tinted and thereon imprinted a suitably rude tattoo. The idiot who in railway carriages scribbles on window panes, we only suffer to ride on a buffer in Tory privatized trains. My object all sublime I shall achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fits the crime, and make each prisoner pent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
His object all sublime he will achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fits the crime, and make each prisoner pent, unwillingly represents a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
The advertising quack who wearies with tales of countless cures, his teeth I've enacted shall all be extracted by terrified amateurs. The music-hall singer attends a series of masses and fugues and ops, by Bach interwoven with Spohr, Beethoven, and classical Monday pops. The billiard sharp whom anyone catches, his doom's extremely hard. He's made to dwell in a dungeon cell on a spot that's always barred, and there he plays extravagant matches in fitsless finger stalls on a cloth and true with a twisted cue and elliptical billiard balls. My object all sublime I shall achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fits the crime, and make each prisoner pent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment. His object all sublime I shall achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fits the crime, and make each prisoner pent, unwillingly represents the souls of innocent merry men, of innocent merry men.
I am honoured in being permitted to welcome your Majesty. I guess the object of your Majesty's wishes, your Majesty's wishes have been attended to. The execution has taken place.
Oh, you've had an execution, have you?
Yes, the coroner has just handed me his certificate.
I am the coroner.
And this is the certificate. At Titipu, in the presence of the Lord Chancellor, Lord Chief Justice, Attorney General, Secretary of State for the Home Department, Lord Mayor, and groom of the second floor front.
They were all present, Your Majesty. I counted them myself.
Very good house. I wish I'd been in time for the performance.
A tough fellow he was too, a man of gigantic strength. His struggles were terrific. It was really a remarkable scene.
Describe it.
The criminal cried as he dropped him down in a state of wild alarm. With a frightful, frantic, fearful frown, I bared my big right arm. I seized him by his little pigtail, and on his knees fell he. As he squirmed and struggled and gurgled and gobbled, I drew my snickersnee, my snickersnee. Oh, never shall I forget the cry or the shriek that shriek at he. As I gnashed my teeth when from its sheath I drew my snickersnee.
We know it well, we ran up tell untrue or groundless tales. He always dies to us alive, and every time he fails. He shivered and shook as he gave the sign for the stroke he didn't deserve. When all of a sudden his eye met mine, and it seemed to grace his nerve. For he nodded his head and kissed his hand and whistled an empty beat as the saber troop chucked freely through his cervical vertebrae. His vertebrae. When a nice and brave, a beautiful thing is a cheering sight to see, and so I'm glad that mourned and sad was soon my sight of me. A terrible tale you can't tell, with truth in voice and breeze. A day's exact for falseness fact amounts to a disease.
Now, though you'd have said that it was dead, for its honor dead was he. It stood on its neck with a smile well bred, but vowed 3 times to me. It was none of your impudent off-hand knots, but as harmful as could be. For it clearly knew the deference due to a man of pedigree, And it's so I vow that death revows a tragic sight to see. Though trunkless, yet it couldn't forget the deference due to me.
It's all beyond these days the truth whenever he finds it pays. And in this case it all took place exactly as he says. Exactly as he
acting, and I should like to have been in time for the performance. But we come about a completely different matter. A year ago, my son, the heir to the throne of Japan, bolted our imperial court.
Indeed. Had he any reason to be dissatisfied with his position?
None whatever. On the contrary, I was about to marry him.
I am surprised that he should have fled from one so lovely.
That's not true.
No.
You hold that I am not beautiful because my face is plain. But you know nothing. You are as yet unenlightened. Learn then. It is not in the face alone that beauty is to be sought. My face is unattractive.
It is.
But I have a lecture blade that is a miracle of loveliness. People come miles to see it. My right elbow has a fascination that few can resist.
Allow me.
It is on view, Tuesdays and Fridays, on presentation of your Blue Peter badge. As for my circulation, it is the largest in the world. And yet he fled.
And is now masquerading in this town, disguised as a second trombone.
A second trombone?
Yes. Would it be troubling you too much if I asked you to produce him? He goes by the name of,
Nanki Poo.
Nanki Poo.
It's quite easy. That is, in point of fact, it's rather difficult. In point of fact, he's gone abroad.
Gone abroad? His address?
Bognor Regis.
Oh, what's the matter?
See here! His name! Nanki Poo! Where is this morning? Oh, where shall I find another? Where shall I find another?
Dear, 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 this is very tiresome. My poor fellow, in your anxiety to carry out my wishes, you have beheaded the heir to the throne of Japan. Oh.
I beg to offer an unqualified apology.
I desire to associate myself with that expression of regret.
You really have the least notion.
Of course you couldn't. How could you? Come, come, my good fellow, don't distress yourself. It was no fault of yours. If a man of exalted rank chooses to disguise himself as a second trombone, he must suffer the consequences. It really distresses me to see you take on so. I'm sure he thoroughly deserved all he got.
We are infinitely obliged to your majesty.
Much obliged, your majesty.
Very much obliged, Your Majesty.
Obliged? Not a bit. Don't mention it. How could you tell?
Of course, we couldn't tell who the gentleman really was.
Wasn't written on his forehead, you know.
It might have been on his pocket handkerchief, but Japanese don't use pocket handkerchiefs. Ha 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 ha!
Oh, he gets the punishment for compassing the death of the heir apparent.
Punishment?
Yes, something lingering. Boiling oil, I fancy. Something of that sort. I think boiling oil is better, but I'm not sure. I know it's humorous, but lingering, with either boiling oil or melted lead.
Oh dear.
Come, come, don't fret. I'm not a bit angry.
If your majesty will accept our assurance, we had no idea.
Of course.
I knew nothing about it.
I wasn't there.
That's the pathetic part of it. Unfortunately, the fool of an access compassing the death of the heir apparent. There's nothing about a mistake.
No.
Or not knowing.
No.
Or having no notion.
No.
Or not being there.
No.
There should be, of course.
Yes.
But there isn't. That's the slovenly way in which these acts are always drawn. However, cheer up, it'll be all right. I'll have it altered. Next session. Now, let's see about your execution. Will after luncheon suit you? Can you wait till then?
Oh, yes. We can wait till then.
Then we'll make it after luncheon.
I don't want any lunch.
Oh, I'm really very sorry for you all, but it's an unjust world, and virtue is triumphant only in theatrical performances. See how the fates their gifts are lot, for A is happy, B is not, yet B is worthy, I dare say, of more prosperity than A.
Is he more worthy?
I should say he's worth a great deal more than A. Yet
A is happy, oh so happy, lovely mama, jumping mama, beautiful mama, ever joyous, ever gay, happy undeserving gay, ever joyous, ever gay, happy undeserving gay. If I were fortune, which I'm not, he should enjoy his happy lot, and they should die in misery, that is assuming I am me.
but should they perish
Gradually, of course, assuming I am thee. Usually happy, also happy, loving mama, better loving mama, ever condemned to die is he, wretched meritorious being, but condemned to die is he, wretched meritorious being.
Well, a nice mess you've got us into, with your nodding head and the deference due to a man of pedigree.
Merely corroborative detail designed to give artistic verisimilitude to an otherwise bald and unconvincing narrative.
Corroborative detail indeed, corroborative fiddlestick.
And you're just as bad as he is with your cock-and-a-bull stories about catching his eye and whistling in air. But that's so like you, you must put in your all.
And how about your big right arm?
Yes.
Well,
And your snicker sneeze.
never mind that now. There's only one thing to be done. Nanky Poo hasn't started yet. He must come to life again at once. Ah, here he is. Here, Nanky Poo, I've good news for you. You've been reprieved.
Ah, but it's too late. I'm a dead man and we're off to our honeymoon.
But a terrible thing has just happened. It seems that you're the son of the Mikado.
Ah, yes, but that happened some time ago.
Is this the end for airy persiflage? Your father is here, and with Katisha.
My father? And with Katisha?
Yes, and he wants you particularly.
So did she.
Oh, but he's married now.
Yes, but bless my heart, I don't know what's to be done about it.
Katisha claims me in marriage, but I can't marry her because I'm married already. Consequently, she shall insist on my execution. And if I'm executed, my wife will have to be buried alive.
You do see our difficulty.
Yes, I don't know what's to be done.
There's one chance for you. If you could persuade Katisha to marry you, she would have no further claim on me. Consequently, I could come to life without any fear of being put to death.
I really think it's the only course.
But my good girl, have you seen her? She's something appalling.
Ah, but that's only her face. She has a left elbow that people come miles to see.
And I am told that her right heel is much admired by connoisseurs.
My good sir, I decline to pin my heart on any lady's right heel.
It comes to this, while Katisha is single, I prefer to be a disembodied spirit. When Katisha is married, existence will be as welcome as the flowers in spring.
The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la, bring promise of merry sunshine. As we merrily dance and we sing, tra-la, we welcome the hope that they bring, tra-la, of a summer of roses and wine, of a summer of roses and wine. And that's what we mean when we say that a thing is welcome as flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, the flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la.
nothing to do with the case. I've got to take under my wing, tra-la, a most unattractive thing, ta-ra, with a caricature of the face, with a caricature of the face. And that's what I mean when I say or I sing. Oh, bother the flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la. Oh, bother the flowers of the spring.
Tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la. Tra-la-la-la-la.
Catcher! The miscreant who robbed me of my love! Let vengeance pursues.
Katisha, behold the suppliant at your feet. Katisha, mercy!
See here, you. You have slain my love. He did not love me, but he would have done in time. I am an acquired taste. It takes an educated palate to appreciate me. I was educating his palate when he left me. But now he is dead. And I like to go through the weary land again, and at the same time it's all waiting for you! You love me on my grave! I mean, my pupil. Just as his education was on the point of completion. Oh, where shall I find another?
Here! Here!
What?
Katisha,
For years I have loved you with a white-hot passion that is slowly but surely consuming my very vitals. Ah, shrink not from me. If there's aught of woman's mercy in your heart, turn not away from a lovesick suppliant whose every fibre thrills at your timeless touch. True it is that under a poor mask of disgust I have endeavoured to conceal a passion whose fires are broiling the soul within me. But the fire will not be smothered. It defies all attempt at extinction, and so bringing forth all the more eagerly for its long restraint, it declares itself in words that will not be weighed, that cannot be schooled, that should not be too severely criticized. Katisha, I dare not hope for your love, but I will not live without it, darling.
You, whose hands still reek with the blood of my betrothed, dare to address words of passion to me, the woman you have so foully wronged.
I do. Accept my love or I perish on the spot.
Go to. Who knows so well as I? No one ever yet died with a broken heart.
You know not what you say. Listen. On a tree by a river a little tomtit sang willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. And I said to him, Dicky Bud, why do you sit singing willow, tit, willow, tit, willow? Is it weakness of intellect, birdie, I cried, or a rather tough worm in your little inside? With a shake of his poor little head he replied, oh, willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. He slapped at his chest as he sat on that bough, singing willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. And a cold perspiration bespangled his brow, oh, willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. And he sobbed and he sighed and a gurgle he gave, then he plunged himself into the billowy wave. And an echo arose from the suicide's grave. Oh, willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. Now I feel just as sure as I'm sure that my name isn't willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. It was blighted affection that made him exclaim, oh, willow, tit, willow, tit, willow. And if you remain callous and obdurate, I shall perish as he did, and you will know why. Though I probably will not exclaim as I die, oh, willow, tit, willow, tit, willow.
Did he really die of love?
He really did.
On account of a cruel little head?
Yes.
Oh, poor little chap.
It's an affecting tale and quite true. I knew the bird intimately.
Did you? He must have loved her very much.
His devotion was something extraordinary.
And if I refuse you, will you go and do the same?
At once.
Oh, no, you mustn't do that. Oh, I'm a silly little goose.
You are.
And you won't hate me if I do some teeny weeny bloodthirsty, will you?
Oh, Katisha, hate you is not beauty even in bloodthirstiness.
My idea, exactly. There's beauty in the bellow of a blast. There is brighter in the growling of a gale. There is eloquent appalling of the lion as the roaring of the tiger is the lashing of his tail.
Yes, I like to see a tiger from the Congo with an eye, especially when he's slashing off his tail.
Volcanoes have a splendid at his grin, and earthquakes only terrify the dogs. But to him, a scientific, there is nothing as terrific in the falling of a flight of thunderbolts.
Yes, in spite of all my meekness, if I have a little weakness, it's a passion for a flight of thunderbolts.
In the
That is so sing Derry down Derry, setting and ferry, I'll take someone. Away we'll go and merrily marry, no time to tarry till day is done.
There's beauty in extreme old age. You fancy her had enough. Information I'm requesting on a subject interesting is the maiden or the veteran she staff.
Oh, I was writing minutes since you gave one opinion that she lost in the long when she's tough.
Are you old enough to marry, do you think? Won't you wait until you're 80 in the shade? There's a fascination frantic in a bloom that's romantic. Do you think you are sufficiently decayed?
To the matter that you mentioned, I have given some attention, and I think I am sufficiently decayed. Yeah, that is so sick, Derry down Derry, setting and ferry, I'll take someone. Away we'll go and merrily marry, no trouble in terror till day is done. That is so sick, Derry down Derry, setting and ferry, I'll take someone. Away we'll go and merrily marry, no trouble in terror till day is done. Sing Derry down Derry, merrily marry, no trouble in terror till day is done.
Capital lunch and we're quite ready. Have all the painful preparations been made?
Your Majesty, all is prepared.
Then produce the unfortunate gentleman and his two well-meaning but misguided accomplices.
A mercy for Coco, a mercy for Pitty Sing, mercy even for Pooh-Bah.
I beg your pardon, I don't think I quite caught that remark.
Oh,
Mercy even for Pooh-Bah.
mercy, my husband that was to be a bean is dead, and I've just married this miserable object.
Oh, you've not been long about it.
We were married before the registrar.
I am the registrar.
I see, but my difficulty is, as you have slain the heir apparent...
The heir apparent is not slain.
Bless my heart, my son!
And his daughter more elected.
Then,
Traitor! You have deceived me!
Oh, you are entitled to an explanation, but I think you will give it better whole than in pieces.
Well, it's like this. It is true that I stated that I had killed Nancy Pooh.
Yes, with most affecting particulars.
Merely corroborative detail designed to give artistic verisimilitude to an otherwise bored
Will you refrain from putting in your oar?
narrative.
It's like this. When your Majesty says let a thing be done, it's as good as done. Practically it is done, because your Majesty's will is law. Your Majesty says kill a gentleman, and a gentleman is told off to be killed. Consequently, that gentleman is as good as dead. Practically he is dead, and if he is dead, why not say so?
I see, and nothing could possibly be more satisfactory.
Oh, he's gone and married young. You're right, very for will be merry. I think you had better succumb and join our expressions of glee.
On the subject, I pray you be done. Your notions, though many, are not worth a penny. The word for your guidance is mum. You was very good bargain indeed.
On this subject, and very we jump.